Did you know this from the FIFA World Cup? The FIFA World Cup has been providing exciting competition and memorable moments, and there have been facts that you might not know about. So here at B Sports, we'll bring you 15 incredible facts from the World Cup's illustrious past, including some truly shocking, stunning, and out-of-this-world truths regarding the sport's most renowned tournament. Are you all interested? Well, let's get this show started, shall we? The first on our list is the quickest goal. One would expect that in the opening minutes of a game, both teams would be on their toes. This was not the case, however, when South Korea faced Turkey. This occurred at the World Cup that was held 2 years after the turn of the century, 2002. The record for the quickest goal was set by the Turkish player Hakan Şükür, who needed only 11 seconds to score. That's right, he scored a goal in a record-setting 11 seconds. And the goal was crucial as Turkey would defeat South Korea 3-2. Players are forbidden from sexual contact. There's no denying that the World Cup trophy is the pinnacle of sporting achievement. Also, many athletes devote their entire lives to perfecting their craft in the hopes that they one day will be able to perform in front of an audience of billions. Some managers and coaches have gone even further and banned all sexual activity during the duration of the competition. It's not uncommon for coaches of high-performing teams to forbid their players to have sexual relations. Countries like Germany, Spain, Chile, and Mexico fall within this category. Some nations are more liberal than others, banning sexual acrobatics but not other forms of the physical display. Brazil's exemplified by the latter category of countries. The most watched show ever. When the internet becomes ubiquitous, information floods in. As a result, there's a lot of competition among content suppliers for a little piece of the market. Defining a specific niche for your service and then distinguishing yourself from other content makers is a daunting challenge. Unless, of course, it's the biggest sporting event ever, the most watched event as it has been for years. The record for most viewers in a single World Cup tournament usually gets smashed the next tournament. More than 3.5 billion people watched the 2018 version in Russia. More than 3 million bottles of booze consumed. To reiterate what's already been said, the World Cup is a time for celebration and happiness. At any given time, alcoholic beverages are among the most popular drinks consumed globally. On the other hand, it's common knowledge that football fans like to kick back with a cold one or two when their teams are in action. At least 3 million cases of beer were sold at South Africa's 2010 World Cup venues. That's a lot more than 1 million gallons. However, roughly 390,500 hot dogs were sold at about the same time and place. Hopefully, this meant that spectators didn't suffer from any crippling hangovers that would have prevented them from watching the games. Distribution of $38 million. The ultimate goal of any player, coach, supporter, and country is to hoist the most prestigious trophy ever created. When a team wins the World Cup, every member of the team wants a chance to hoist the trophy and pose with it for a photo. A substantial sum of money is awarded to the winners, though, so they walk away with more than just a golden statuette. The victorious group will receive $42 million in addition to the trophy. The runner-up will also walk away with $30 million. Additionally, there are bonuses of $9 million for not making it through the group stages, $13 million for advancing to the round of 16, $17 million for advancing to the quarterfinals, $25 million for finishing in fourth place, and $27 million for finishing in third. At the 2018 World Cup held in Russia, FIFA estimates that it handed out bonuses and cash prizes totaling roughly $400 million. For this World Cup, the total prize money will be $440 million. European affair. All countries in the world may have an equal shot at winning the coveted championship. Nonetheless, it is worth noting that 19 of the last 21 World Cup finals have had at least one European country. In addition, European nations have won almost 60% of the matchups. The maximum number of goals scored in a single game. Here are some more mind-boggling details to consider regarding the objectives. Did you know that there was a game with 10 goals scored in it? It's true. 1982, Uruguay thumped El Salvador 10-1. Being exposed to the World Cup increases your chances of getting pregnant. That's ridiculous, right? Wrong. It's not as fantastical as it appears. 9 months after Germany hosted the 2006 World Cup, there was a noticeable increase in the country's birth rate. The fact that it happened at all may make you wonder if there aren't some other forces at play or if it was just a coincidence. Population and death rates are tracked carefully, so keep that in mind. Birth rates in Germany spiked by 10% after the country hosted the tournament. Although it may seem low to you, birth rates in Germany typically fluctuate by little more than 0.7% per year, even when demographic trends are taken into account. This is because the holiday is generally viewed as a time when individuals can let their hair down and have a good time, which explains the increase in birth rates. People feel more encouraged to let loose because they're drinking more alcohol as part of the celebration. Due to the generally upbeat mood, hormones are released in women that make conception more likely. The most productive groups. While Europe as a whole is formidable, there is another major player that can hold its own on the international stage. With 5 victories, Brazil holds the record for the most World Cup trophies. In terms of individual awards and overall accomplishment, Brazil's team's now the most decorated in World Cup history. With 4 trophies, Italy and Germany share second place. Argentina and Uruguay are following with 2 trophies each. Croatia gives their prize money to charity. The 2018 tournament was arguably the best held. Some of the tournament's best teams, including Germany, Spain, and Portugal, were eliminated early on. Despite this, some of the lesser-known teams went on to make names for themselves and cement their places in World Cup annals. One such side is Croatia, who, although starting the tournament as one of the tournament's underdogs, eventually emerged as a top threat. Even though they ultimately fell short in the final to France 4-2, Croatia made it all the way there. Since they made it to the final, they were guaranteed bonuses of over $28 million. The Croats, though, donated every cent they made from the competition to a good cause. 17 different countries will be hosting. Since its first publication in 1930, there have been 20 further versions. 21 tournaments have been held thus far, with 17 different countries serving as hosts. Uruguay, Switzerland, Italy, South Africa, West Germany, Brazil, Sweden, Chile, England, Mexico, Argentina, France, the United States of America, South Korea, Japan, Germany, and Russia. Qatar will play host in 2022, and the United States, Canada, and Mexico will share the task of hosting the event in 2026. Although the first tournament was held in 1930, World War II forced the cancellation of the 1942 and 1946 installments. Most immediate dismissal. A red card is the worst possible fate for any player, and no team wants to see one of their players shown the card and be sent from the game. And no one wants to be the one who makes their team weaker and short-handed. Some players, though, are just weird, they ignore the rules, or are just unsportsmanlike. Defending for Uruguay, Jose Batista holds the record for the quickest red card ever given. After only 56 seconds of action, the defender was booked by the referee. However, Uruguay held firm as the game ended in a scoreless stalemate. Number of goals scored. Even a single goal of a tournament like the World Cup is something to celebrate. In sports, when a player scores a goal, they hear their name sung and their accomplishments remembered forever. Still, some truly exceptional players defy comparison. Player Miroslav Klose from Germany is the all-time most scoring player with 16 goals divided over 4 tournaments. A maximum number of goals scored in a single tournament. The preceding statistic may have piqued your interest, but here's another one that might interest you even more. The record for most goals scored at a single World Cup is held by the French striker Justin Fontaine. His record of 13 goals in just 6 games is astounding. Single game scoring leader. However, the record for the most goals scored in a single match still belongs to our Russian player, Salenko. A Russian striker scored an incredible 5 goals in a 1994 encounter against Cameroon. Russia won the match 6-1 over Cameroon, thanks in large part to that 5-goal performance. And that's going to do it for today's video. We sincerely hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.